If your dog has started attacking cats, don't separate them. Don't scold them. Don't assume it's a fight over territory. Watch the cat instead, because something followed it home, and it isn't what you think. Incident #001, Maple Hollow, Vermont, March 2023. Subject, Evelyn Drayton. Evelyn was a retired nurse living alone in a fading farmhouse on the edge of Maple Hollow, a town so small its post office shared a roof with a diner. Her closest neighbor was a half-mile away, and her only companion was a chocolate lab named Milo. On March 4th, Evelyn spotted a gray tabby sitting on her porch, unmoving despite the bitter wind. It didn't meow. It didn't flinch. It just stared through the screen door like it had been waiting. No collar, no tags. Fur was clean, not matted. Eyes too wide, too glassy. She assumed it belonged to a neighbor and let it in. Just for the night, she told herself. Milo's reaction was immediate. He lunged, snarling, growling in a way she'd never seen. This wasn't territorial barking, it was panic, fear. She had to drag him away by the collar and lock him in the mudroom. He whimpered and scratched the door all night. The cat never moved from the kitchen tile. March 5th. That night, Evelyn woke up to a strange noise, a mechanical hum, like static, low and vibrating through her walls. She checked her radio. It was off. Television? Unplugged. She walked into the kitchen and the cat was still there. Same spot, eyes wide open. It wasn't purring, it was humming, except the sound wasn't coming from its throat. It was coming from inside the house. Milo barked once, sharp and furious, from behind the mudroom door. Then silence. Evelyn didn't sleep the rest of the night. March 6th. The dreams started. She found herself lying in bed, but she couldn't move. Paralyzed, pinned by something unseen. Something cold traced her cheek. A meow echoed in the dark, drawn out too long like an old cassette tape warping in slow motion. In the dream, she tried to scream, but something slithered into her mouth. It tasted like copper and rot. She awoke gasping, her sheets soaked in sweat. The cat was on her chest, staring, humming. She shoved it off and ran to Milo. The mudroom door had deep claw marks on it. She let him out. He ran straight into the kitchen and growled, teeth bared, body rigid. The cat didn't flinch. It just blinked. Slowly. Evelyn called the animal shelter. The line crackled, disconnected twice. They said they'd try to send someone out. No one came. March 7th. She stopped dreaming, but the house didn't. The humming now came from beneath the floorboards. Whispers behind walls. Meows from inside closed closets. Milo refused to enter the living room, refused to sleep, refused to eat. Evelyn noticed something else. The cat never blinked unless she was watching. She tested it, left a camera running. 6 hours of footage. The cat stood up only once. Its legs stretched too long, its head tilted completely backward. Then it turned toward the lens and began humming again. The video glitched. The rest was static. She deleted it. Burned sage, read prayers. Nothing changed. March 8th, the worst night. She tried to nap, curled up on the couch with Milo by her side. She awoke hours later to find herself standing in the backyard, barefoot, freezing, facing the woods. The cat sat behind her. Milo was barking from inside the house, slamming himself against the window. She ran back inside, found muddy footprints shaped like paws, but stretched, twisted, like something pretending to walk on all fours. She checked herself in the mirror. There were bite marks on her shoulder, deep, purple, bleeding slightly. She didn't remember them. Milo whined, then howled, and then came the voice, not from the cat's mouth, but from everywhere. You brought it in, now it sleeps in you. March 9th. She drove to the town landfill, tossed the cat out near the tree line, didn't look back. That night, her house was silent. Milo slept at her feet. The humming stopped. No dreams. But she still checks the mirrors. She still sleeps with salt at every window. And she's never opened her door after dark again. That was just the first report. Others followed. They all started with a stray cat. They all ended the same way. The dog knew. The cat wasn't a cat. And once it enters your dreams, you'll never fully wake up again. Incident #002, Furnace Bluff, Michigan, April 2023. Subject, Neil and Madison Kesler. The Keslers had moved into their cabin in Furnace Bluff 2 weeks before it began. A fixer-upper on the edge of a frozen lake. Quiet, remote, cheap. Madison found the cat first. It was standing perfectly still at the tree line just before dusk. White fur, no collar, eyes too bright. It didn't blink the entire time I was looking at it, she later wrote in her journal. She assumed it was lost. They let it inside, gave it a name, Snowy. Their dog, a German shepherd named Rook, went berserk. That night, Neil had the first dream. He was lying on the dock outside, frozen wood beneath his back, unable to move. Something was curled on his chest. Not heavy, just present. He couldn't see it, only felt the breath. Smelled rot, metal, burnt fur. It whispered through its teeth. She let me in. He woke up with a nosebleed and frostbite on his toes. The doors were locked. The cat was sitting on the windowsill, staring out at the woods like it was remembering something. April 6th. Madison started hearing noises from the crawl space. She described them as skittering and breathing, but never at the same time. She opened the door to investigate. Nothing. But the humming started after that. Not from the vents, from the outlets, from the baby monitor they hadn't plugged in since moving. Rook wouldn't eat, wouldn't bark anymore, just low growls that never ended. Madison's phone began receiving texts from a number listed as unknown device. Each message said the same thing. Why did you let it stay? April 7th. They tried to take Snowy to a shelter. Rook attacked, clawed at the back door, howled like he was being slaughtered. Neighbors called. Police came. They saw the blood, saw the scratches on the walls. They blamed Rook. Rook was taken away. That night, Madison screamed herself awake. She was in the tub, full of cold water, clothes still on. No memory of how she got there. Bite marks on her ankle, toes blackening. Neil never went to sleep that night, but he swears he saw her standing in the hallway at 3:11 a.m., eyes closed, smiling, humming. And behind her, for just a moment, he saw another cat. This one had no skin. April 8th. They took the cat into the woods, drove 5 miles out, left it on the roadside, didn't speak on the way back, didn't turn on the radio, didn't look at each other. When they got home, Rook was sitting on the porch, bleeding, tail gone, eyes wide and wet. He collapsed in Neil's arms. Animal control said he must have escaped. They never explained how he made it over 10 miles back home. That night was quiet. No humming, no whispering. But in the morning, Madison didn't wake up. She was breathing, eyes fluttering, but no response. Doctors couldn't find a cause. No trauma, no drugs. Brain activity showed dreamlike theta waves even while awake. She stayed like that for 11 days, and every morning Neil swore he saw fresh paw prints beside the bed. Sometimes just once, he thought he heard her humming along with something else. Madison finally woke up, but her voice was different. Flat, too slow, like she was remembering how to speak. And when Neil asked what happened, she only said, "I let it in again." Incident hash 003 Cedar Junction, Utah, May 2023. Subject Oliver Wren. Oliver worked night shifts at a roadside maintenance depot. Lived in a trailer behind the building. Spent most nights listening to talk radio and throwing stale bread to raccoons. He found the cat behind a dumpster around 2:40 a.m. jet black. Eyes green and wide. It didn't meow, just walked toward him like it had a purpose. He brought it inside. Within 15 minutes, every light in the trailer dimmed. His radio spit static, and the cat sat on the counter, never moving, never breaking eye contact. He called it Echo. May 10th. Oliver was found sleepwalking along the highway shoulder, barefoot, mumbling phrases like, "It's learning how to sound like me." The cat was missing. Later that night, he checked his voicemail. There were 3 new messages. Each one was just breathing. But in the last one, he heard his own voice whispering, "Don't turn around." He didn't sleep for the next 2 days, but that didn't stop the dreams. They came when he blinked, when he closed his eyes to sneeze, when he yawned. Brief flashes of fur, of things mimicking fur, of a cat stretched too long, standing on hind legs and crawling toward him from under the sink. May 13th. The cat returned, sat on the trailer steps humming. Oliver didn't speak, didn't open the door, just stared through the peephole for 3 hours. Eventually it walked away. Its shadow stretched 5 feet tall. He filed an incident report with the state wildlife office. They marked it as Unverified encounter with unusual wildlife. Case closed. Oliver moved back east. Never got another pet. He doesn't use phones anymore, and he won't look at anything that purrs. Conclusion: if your dog suddenly attacks a cat, especially a cat that didn't come from anywhere, do not stop it. Do not try to protect the cat, because it might not be a cat at all. Separate them. Lock the door. Burn sage. Throw out everything it touched. And above all, return the cat to where it came from. If you don't know where that is, then it's already in you.